A mechanic can drop a brand new transmission into your tractor, and it still won't move an inch. The part won't wake up until a Deere dealer drives out and plugs a laptop into a port in your cab. $230 just to show up. $130 an hour after that. That's number one on the list of ways the machine you paid for stopped being yours. And it isn't one greedy dealer. It's the design. Somewhere around 2015, the tractor quietly stopped being iron you owned and started being software you're licensed to sit on. There are 7 locks on this list. Every one is documented in a lawsuit, a license, or a federal filing. The last one, a hacker proved on a stage in Las Vegas. By the end, you'll know the 7 locks. You'll know the ones a court just preed open this year, and the used machines that never asked your permission. You've fixed your own equipment your whole life. A filter, a hydraulic line, a starter swapped out in the dark with a headlamp. So hear how Kevin Kenny, a farmer in Nebraska, put it. You can bolt in the new transmission yourself, but the tractor can't drive out of the shop. And the company charges to send a man out and plug a connector into a port, just to authorize the part you already installed. Remember that word, authorize, it comes back. That isn't a repair charge, it's a permission charge, and permission is number 1. Number 2 is the tool they'll actually sell you. There's a dealer program called Service Advisor. It clears fault codes, it reprograms controllers, it finishes the job. But the version handed to owners and independent shops is the cut-down one, and it can't touch the repairs that matter. You're not imagining that gap. In January of 2025, the Federal Trade Commission sued Deere, joined by the Attorneys General of Illinois and Minnesota. And that exact gap is the whole case. A real tool for the dealer, a gutted one for the man who signed the loan. A federal judge in Illinois refused to throw it out. Number 3 you agreed to without ever reading it. The license bundled with a modern Deere forbids nearly all repair and modification, and it binds anyone who so much as turns the key. It also strips your right to sue for crop loss or lost profit if that software fails you mid-harvest. Sit with the timing of that. You can lose a whole season to a glitch, and the paper says you swallow it. And Deere rolled that agreement out right as the Copyright Office was carving out your legal right to fix your own machine. Funny how those two lined up. Number 4 says the quiet part out loud. Back in 2015, Wired ran a story with a title that still stings. We can't let John Deere destroy the very idea of ownership. Because Deere had told the Copyright Office, in writing, that farmers don't really own the software that runs the tractor. You don't own it, they said, but you get an implied license to operate it. So here's the question nobody on the lot will answer straight. If you don't own the code, and the code runs the machine, what exactly did the bank just finance for you? Pause on those 4 together. The USP fee, the crippled tool, the license, the filing. That isn't 4 separate problems. It's one move run 4 different ways. It turns a thing you own into a thing you rent from a company that keeps the keys in its pocket. And if you're still here this deep, you already understand why a channel like this exists. So go ahead and subscribe, because the list of companies pulling this only gets longer. Number 5 is the fear farmers got called paranoid for. That Deere could reach out over the air and shut a running tractor down. In 2022, it stopped being paranoia. That year, Russian troops looted around $5 million of Deere equipment from a dealership in occupied Ukraine and hauled it off to Chechnya. And Deere reached across the entire world and bricked all of it, remotely. Now, against thieves, that's a fine story. But the same capability that killed those stolen machines is sitting in your cab too, and it can't tell the difference between a thief and a farmer who's one payment behind. Number 6 is what pure desperation built. All across the Corn Belt, farmers quietly run cracked Ukrainian firmware, bought on invite-only forums, traded like contraband, only to fix machines they already own. One Nebraska farmer asked the single question that ends the debate. In 20 years, when Deere won't service these anymore, are we supposed to throw the tractor in the garbage? There is a working black market for the right to repair your own property. Honestly, that fact alone should be the end of the argument. Number 7 proved every word of it, and it happened in front of an audience. A security researcher who goes by SIC codes bought a Deere display off eBay for about $7,000. Months of work, wires soldered straight onto the board, gaming the startup check until the machine believed a certified dealer had signed in. Remember authorize? Here's where it pays off. Once he was inside, the tractor coughed up 1.5 gigabytes of diagnostic logs. That's the precise dealer-only data Deere insists you can't be trusted to see. And then, because he could, he ran a corn-themed version of Doom on the tractor's own screen. The iFixit founder Kyle Wiens watched it and called it the path for farmers to retake control of the equipment they own. Think about what that means. A stranger with a soldering iron had more access to your tractor than you do. So that's the list. And the point was never to leave you scared of your own machine. The point was to hand you the piece they'd rather you never connected. Because the same stretch of years all this got loud, the fight started turning the other direction. And there are exactly 3 moves that put the keys back in your pocket. The first move is the cheapest, and it's already parked in half the barns you pass on the highway. Buy the iron from before the console started asking permission. A mechanical diesel with no authentication handshake lets an independent shop, or you, fix anything you can reach with a wrench. The honest catch. You give up the cab comforts, the emissions gear on the borderline stuff gets fussy. And you'll turn more of your own bolts. But nobody bricks it from a laptop 3 states over. And I'd put my own money on a clean older machine over a locked new one most days of the week. The second move you did not have a year ago. The law finally showed up. The state of Colorado passed the first Farm Right to Repair Act in the country. It's been in force since the start of 2024, forcing makers to hand over the tools and the documentation. 16 more ag repair bills got filed across the states just this year. Now the honest limit. It's a patchwork, it moves state by state, and enforcement crawls. But a federal exemption already makes fixing your own machine flatly legal. And that quietly changes what you're allowed to demand at the counter. The third move is the leverage almost nobody's telling you to use. This April, Deere agreed to a $99 million settlement, and the cash isn't even the point. The deal forces Deere to open its Real Repair Tools, a program called Operation Center Pro, to farmers and independent shops, and it keeps them open for 10 years. The honest caveat. It isn't final until a fairness hearing this October, and $99 million spread across 8 years of harm works out to about 79 cents an acre. That's a slap, not justice. But you can walk into that dealership right now and ask for that tool by name. And for the first time in a decade, they don't have a clean way to tell you no. The whole war comes down to one line. You bought a machine, and they sold you a subscription to your own dirt. But you are not the guy standing on the lot taking their word for it anymore. You know the tool has a name. You know the license has a weak spot. You know a court just pried the lock open and a hacker already picked it for sport. And yes, I know I just spent 10 minutes telling you the tractor you love is rented. That wasn't to sour you on the iron. It was so the next time a salesman says trust the network, you hear exactly what he means, and you decide who keeps the keys. YouTube thinks you'll want the next one, so click it. And if you made it all the way to the end, go ahead and subscribe. The list of companies quietly turning what you own into what you borrow only gets longer from here. Drop the machine you'd never let them lock in the comments. I'll be in there.